as well. They use the 68, 95, 99.7 rule quite a bit. Where did the 68% come from? 34 and 34. Does that make sense to be within one standard deviation from the mean? Okay? So anytime the wording is one standard deviation from the mean, multiply it by 68%. Where does the 95% come from? 68 plus 13.5 plus 13.5, so that's where the 95% is coming from. And 95% should be within how many standard deviations from the mean? Two standard deviations. And then the 99.7, that puts you 3 standard deviations from the mean. Does this make sense to you now that you know a little bit about that? Okay. The last one we're not going to use, but I found it very interesting because it allows you to see a visual of how IQR, because IQR measures spread, correct? So for IQR, basically when you do Q3 minus Q1, it gives you 50% of the data. So it's a good visual just to see how they compare with one another. Now guys, do you see how this is 1 sigma? What is it from here to here? Huh? No, what percentage is it from?
50.
No, that's 50% showing the IQR. What is it from sigma to sigma?
68.
68%. So do you see how you have a little bit here that's not included and a little bit here that's not included? Okay? So basically, IQR gives you the 50% range, and then to find your outliers, here's how that formula works. You take 1.5 times your IQR, and then you add it to your what? Your Q3. So then anything outside of that could be an outlier, probably is an outlier, and the same thing here. You take your IQR, you multiply by 1.5, and then do Q1 minus that, and that gives you the lower half, or the lower boundary. So I thought this was pretty interesting on how they showed IQR and how it fits into a bell-shaped curve. Do you guys have questions? Yeah.
So if everything outside the min and max are considered outliers, are the min and max themselves considered outliers?
No. No. And it's not really outside the min and max. Whatever your IQR is, when you add, when you do 1.5 times that, you're giving yourself more of a gap than just a min or max. So anything that falls outside of that would be an outlier. Okay? All right, other questions, please? Okay. I think if there are no other questions, then we can start, the rest of the time we can start on our homework. And, well, actually,